Hey everyone, it's Linda McGrath-Cruz from Perfectly Paralegal with a LinkedIn mini tutorial. Today I want to show you how easy it is to open a LinkedIn account. Start by going to linkedin.com and you'll see that there's a short form to fill in to register. It's not showing it now, but when you visit linkedin.com for the first time, you may also be shown the option of joining using your Facebook account. It's typically a separate button located under the Join Now button. I do not recommend this option. Most people use LinkedIn and Facebook very differently, and you do not want to give LinkedIn the option of what information to pull. It's really much safer to create a separate LinkedIn account from scratch than to risk a crossover of unintended information. So you will simply enter your first and last name, your email address, and your password, and then click Join Now. So I'm actually going to go through the process so that I can show you exactly the options that you will be offered. LinkedIn is going to ask you for some basic information to get started. So you're going to fill in your country name and your zip code and hit next. Then you're going to let them know whether or not you're a student. If you hit yes, it's going to ask you for some information about your school. If you hit no, it's going to ask you for employment information. You can always change this information once you get into your profile, so it's not too big of a deal, but I'm going to go ahead and fill in some basic information here. I'm just making up a law firm. I don't like to put law practice. Some people do that. In my opinion, attorneys are in the practice of law, so I like to put legal services just to make sure that there's no confusion. And we'll go ahead and so LinkedIn's going to ask you what you're most interested in using LinkedIn for in order to help personalize your experience. So you can choose the category that most applies to you, or just click not sure yet, I'm open, to kind of keep things a little bit general. Please pay close attention to this screen and don't just hit continue too quickly. A lot of people mess up here, and it's a complaint I hear frequently about the sign-up process for LinkedIn. As you can see, LinkedIn is asking to look at your email contacts to help you build a strong network. If you hit continue on this option, you're giving LinkedIn permission to import your address book and suggest connections and help you manage your contacts. Basically, what they want to do is send an invitation to every single email address they find within your email. So while this may not be a problem for everyone and you might want to do this, and of course building your network is very important, you should really avoid blindly spamming all of the people that you email back and forth with. You really want more control over who you invite. And besides, remember, your profile is not ready for its close-up yet. You can go back and do this step at any time, so please do not waste this great networking opportunity on an empty profile. Do yourself and your friends a favor and hit the skip button, which you'll notice is conveniently grayed out and very easy to miss, but you can find it right here. So go ahead, do yourself a favor, and hit skip. Now, the final step is to verify your account. You'll see that LinkedIn is advising me that they've sent an email with a verification code to my registered email address. So let's take a look. The email generally comes immediately, and it's important to note that the code in the email is only valid for a couple of minutes. So you'll want to do this step right away, even if you're not going to start using your account until later, or you'll have to do the process over again. So this is what the email looks like. The subject of the email says, please confirm your email address, and it's from linkedin.com. So if you don't see it in your inbox, you can look for it in your spam email. You can copy the code and just paste it right into the verification box. The next thing that LinkedIn is going to give you the opportunity to do is to create a job search alert. You can set this up at any time, so it's completely up to you if you want to set that up now. You can search by keywords and also by location. You can see that it's making suggestions for me based on the job title that I entered at the beginning and also my location based on my zip code. So you can create the alert now, or you can skip it and come back to that later. Now, one of the final steps is that LinkedIn wants you to add people that you know. Please do not add any connections at this point. You really want to work on your profile before you start adding connections. You can obviously make changes to your profile later on, but you really want to do the bulk of the setup before you start introducing your profile to the outside world. One of the reasons for doing that is every time you update your profile, unless you specifically request otherwise, it's going to put a notification on your wall. So that may be fine if you're adding an accomplishment or something like that to your profile. But when you're building it at the beginning, and you may be going back many years to add prior jobs or education, which happened in the past and is not recent, you really don't want that popping up, on everyone's timeline and having everyone notified that you've added that information when it's not current. So I really strongly suggest that you do not add any individuals at this time. So I would uncheck them, and then at the bottom, go ahead and do skip. Now at this point, you have the option to add a photograph to your profile. You can do that now if you want, or you can skip this step at this time and you can add your photograph at any time. LinkedIn also has an app that you can use on Apple or Android. So here it's giving you the opportunity, if you would like to send yourself a text message with a link to download the app, you can do that here. And finally, you have completed all of the steps and you can begin working on your profile. So you are now officially a LinkedIn member. Over the past year or so, LinkedIn has added many steps to the sign-up process. In the past, as recent as 2015 or even early 2016, there was really only 4 main steps to setting up the profile. So it is a little bit longer of a process now. They are kind of including more of the profile building activities in the actual sign-up process. But as you saw, you can kind of skip most of those steps and do them at another time once you start setting up your profile. But now you are ready to start getting set up, get your profile going, add all of your fantastic information, and then start building your network. So please do not hesitate to send me a connection request. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, and I look forward to seeing you online.